So, hi, I am Ravindra Sahu from GR Compliance and I am handling the medical devices and their approval and registration process through CDSCO. So, in this video, we will learn about how to obtain registration and approval process through Sugam portal, which is initiated and governed by CDSCO. Now, under this scheme, I will explain about how to get the licensing and approval process for medical devices through Sugam portal. So, as we know that India is the major dependent for the import process of medical devices. That's why the Indian regulatory framework comes in the effect to make a licensing and approval process easy way. And as we know that the India import the around 78 to 80% medical devices from foreign countries. So if compared to the other countries, India is the major importer for the medical devices. Therefore, considering the quality, safety, risk factors, and Indian regulatory framework comes in effect and make our registration and approval process easy through Sugam portal by making the guidelines and rules and regulations under the MDR 17. When it comes in effect to establish the medical devices for like manufacturers, medical and healthcare industries and medtech companies, so the regulatory part comes after the 2017, which is mandatory during the registration and approval process for the medical devices manufacturers as well as the importer and distributors. It covering various segments and sub-segments like active and non-active medical devices, wound care devices, bandages and cotton and their applications, instruments like active and non-active instruments, with understanding of what is the MDR 2017. Now let's have a look for the product classification and their categories. So basically the medical devices are categorized in 4 categories, that is class A, class B, class C and class D, in which we know that class A is a low risk devices and the class D is the high risk based devices. For example, in class A, the blood bags, bandages and other non-active instruments and devices falls in this category. While in the class D category, there are the life-saving devices or kits are falls in this category like HIV kits, ventilators, CPAP, BPAP machines, etc. Since the notified and non-notified products are categorized and classified by time to time through the notification given by the CDS. All the manufacturer, importer and distributors of medical devices comes in the regime of registration and approval processes related to the Central Licensing Authority system. So now with that, finally move on to how to get MDR registration and approval process. So first, the certain kind of forms which is available in the portal are filled as per relevant your requirement. After that, there are some necessary documents are required for the approval process like manufacturing site master file, device master file and their manuals, and related to declaration and undertakings, which is a necessary requirement for the application and filing the CDSCO documentation process. After that, the documents was scrutinized by the given authority, like if your product falls under the class A and B category, your documents was reviewed by the state licensing authority, and if your product falls under the class C and D category, then directly the CDSCO main central licensing authority involved in this process. So as I told about the class and their the process and the timelines, so for class A and B products, they fall in the low risk categories. So in this process, the state licensing authorities involved for this, and after the review your application and all documents, they assign a regulatory authorities or the assigned bodies who makes the inspection and audits. So after your documents scrutinized by state licensing authority or the central licensing authority, the class A and B category products are reviewed by the state licensing authority, and the class C and D products, the CDSCO central licensing authority is directly involved for this process, in which after the review all your technical documents, they assign the audit as per your convenience from the state licensing authority if your product falls in class A or B category, and for class C and D, the directly central system is involved in this process. So audit inspection was done by the competent authorities or the bodies which have doing the audits as per medical devices system or the manufacturing site approval processes. After that, your product gone for the approval process, the system is going in the 3 months timeline, and this timeline is taken for the whole process like your documentation, review, audit inspection and report preparation and uploading, and finally you got the approval as per the required category. So there is all you need to know about the approval and licensing process related to the medical devices as per MDR 17 rules and regulation guidelines. Thank you. If you know more about the medical device registration and licensing process approval, we are happy to assist you get the approval. For more details, kindly contact us. GR Compliance, Approvals Simplified.